God and unicorns, the burden of proof. Something I've learned over the years is not to get into an argument with a fundamentalist Christian. What kind of argument can one have with someone who says, of course God exists, the Bible says so, or if God doesn't exist, who wrote the Bible? I could have more useful conversations with my dog or my goldfish, if I had either, than with a fundamentalist Christian. Actually, I could have more useful conversations with my imaginary goldfish. A little harsh? No, not really. Those who believe in God, and not just those of a fundamentalist persuasion, apparently see the burden of proof as lying with those who don't believe. Prove God doesn't exist. Well, I don't have to, any more than I have to prove that fairies don't exist, or unicorns. After all, I'm not the one claiming that there is some kind of superior being out there who created the world and me, who tells me how I should be living my life, and to whom I owe my allegiance and worship. There are, of course, Oprah and Dr. Phil, maybe Justin Bieber, but I digress. The burden of proof is clearly with those who hold such a belief. It's very difficult to prove a negative assertion, such as, for example, that unicorns don't exist. I can point to the fact that no actual living unicorn has ever been seen, photographed, or captured. No dead one, for that matter, either. No record of unicorns has ever been found in the fossil record. But, of course, the believer in unicorns can always add, yet. On the other hand, all the believers in unicorns have to do is bring one single living, dead, or fossilized unicorn for examination and authentication. They haven't. Okay, yet. Perhaps they might argue that unicorns are very rare, very shy, very elusive. Perhaps they have powers of invisibility, who knows? In which case, one may legitimately ask, so why do you believe they exist? They might say, I've never personally seen a blue whale either, but I know they exist. Yeah, sure, but plenty of other people have seen blue whales. Who do you know who has seen a unicorn? Let me talk to them. Suppose they did bring me someone who claimed to have actually seen a unicorn, and that someone took me to a secluded valley somewhere in Romania, and there, indeed, was a herd of unicorns. On examination, it became clear that he was indeed a formerly unknown, to biology at least, species of horned equine. Do you know what? They still wouldn't have shown me a unicorn. Why not? Because unicorns are not a perfectly natural equine species. They are magical, mystical creatures, a symbol of purity and grace that only a virgin can capture. Its horn has the power to make poisoned water drinkable and to heal all kinds of ailments. That is a unicorn, not some previously undiscovered equine species. All that person would have done was to reveal to me one possible source for this unicorn myth. But enough about unicorns. I don't think those who believe in God even begin to understand the magnitude of the task before them. Let's be clear. Even if it could be demonstrated that there was a being who created the world and me, it would take much more than this fact alone before I would give my allegiance and worship to such a being, or to accept that such a being cared about me or had the right to tell me how to live my life. Proving that God existed would only be one tiny step. Proving that God existed wouldn't demonstrate that the Bible or the Quran or any other sacred text had anything useful to say about him, her, it, let alone that he, she, it wrote it. Demonstrating the existence of God would not prove that Jesus or Muhammad or any particular prophet or religious leader had anything of importance to say about God. It would not prove that any, let alone every word uttered by them or written in any religious text was true. Even proving that every word of the Bible was true would still not induce me to worship this thing they call God. You'd have to do much more work after that, believers. Look, I don't believe in God, but the question's scarcely of more than academic interest to me anyway. If God exists, so what?